Now, on the US, Elon Musk, his fingerprints are everywhere. Richest man in the world, of course, has Twitter/X these days. Meddling in UK politics, Nigel Farage. What did you make of this?
Yeah, look, I think it's an interesting one. I think, the UK, like any country, has some pretty robust views around foreign interference in elections, whether they're from apparently friendly nations or not. Interestingly, the Trump administration got quite upset with some of the Labor Party personnel who came across to support the Kamala Harris campaign during the election campaign. So I'm not quite sure that they'd be keen to see Musk do something which they could be argued back out about. Look, I don't see Farage being a major player in the next election in the way that most people would think with this. Mainly because I don't think X is the platform in the UK that it is in the US in terms of influencing voters on how they'll vote. I think in the UK, it's much more around people will believe what they already believe, and they'll use X as a supporter of their own belief patterns rather than where they go to be informed. Yeah. And I think people in the UK already have a view of Farage one way or the other. And I think the other thing that kept being put forward on those conversations was the number of seats in which Farage's group came second.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing there is, as we've talked about before, the first past the post finishing pattern in the UK means it's actually much harder for Farage to actually, as a third party, to come out in front.
To make a big dent.
To make the sort of dent that would get him into power.
Things go viral these days. It's a different language. You and I have had to learn how to use it. What about the song? The Keir Starmer song, that has gone viral.
Absolutely, and one of the most devastating political acts of the Keir Starmer regime so far has been to withdraw the £300 support for energy for pensioners. The biggest problem with that is it gets very cold and people die. And the charity #1 single, we all remember Billy Mack in Love Actually. Yeah. There's a song out that's criticising that particular policy, and the BBC apparently aren't willing to play it, even though it's reached number 37 in the charts and is offering all of its revenue to go to charities and help people who are poor this Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. And these types of things, they raise awareness these days in a way that conventional media always did, but it has changed. Look, to you, have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I wonder whether at those talks they touched on the Ashes next year, because I know we're a year away, but it's going to be a ripper.
Well, if England play like they did in the last test against New Zealand, we'll be pretty safe.
They were horrendous. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.